What's going on, Lead Nation? It's Friday. Y'all know what time it is. It's back for Classic Tabletop RPG Friday. Sliding right back into our Dark Conspiracy RPG series. Today, we're going to begin a mini-series talking about the world, the lore, the place that your character will be thrust into in the dark future. So this is going to be probably 2 or 3 videos over the next few weeks, so you guys will know exactly what you are getting into. And of course, you know, your GM might put a little twist on that and make things more dangerous or less dangerous. I mean, it depends on who you have as a GM. Hey, for all of you who are new to the channel, welcome aboard. I am Servant of Shiloh, and this is RPG Elite, the place where I put the RP back in the RPG, giving you tools, tips, tutorials, and real talk about the tabletop RPG space and culture. Let's slide right into this. On the other side, that's the question of the vid. It's all good, y'all, so let's do this and roll 'em.
The world of Dark Conspiracy is familiar because it is our world. It is a world of the future where a global economic collapse has transpired. Some people call this the Greater Depression, where borders have disintegrated between traditional nations. They still exist, but their actions fall into the category of either irresponsible or irrelevant. Most people arguing they are simply obsolete. To fill this power gap, mega corporations have risen to power, rivaling these anemic nations. Throughout all of this is the greatest threat, the appearance of the Dark Ones. They have overrun entire areas of urban centers and the countryside. These areas were first simply categorized as haunted, but now they are known as the Demon Ground. How did all of this happen? In the United States during the 1990s, the signs of an impending doom were blatant, but no one took heed. Economically, socialism imploded as expected, and capitalism suffered from a string of terrible investments and unhinged greed. As a result, the governments couldn't pay back the loans of hundreds of billions of dollars issued to them. Traditionally, conservative institutions like banks, savings and loans, and insurance companies kept investing into risky ventures, and when those failed, instead of pulling back, they pressed forward even more, hoping for that big payoff, like a gambling addict. It never came. A turning point came in the United States in 1997 with the Voting Rights Act. This gave voters the right to give their proxy votes to others in elections, which was previously the case in corporate elections. The law gave tremendous power to corporations. As a result, these corporations have done everything in their power to limit the size of government, and it has worked. The social and economic ruin grew faster than the government can deal with. Law and order broke down. In this future, the government still exists, but it is much more remote and weak. This has created a decrease in basic government services. It also has precipitated the government retreating from controlling certain geographic areas. Large patches of the country are now referred to as outlaw because of them being so far from governmental jurisdiction. Rural areas are the responsibility of county police. However, where there are no residents, there are no police. There are still state police who patrol the roads and highways, but they do little else. The FBI has authority in certain situations, but the resources are so limited to support them that their intervening in a situation is sporadic and disjointed at best. The collapse of traditional markets and the rise of large agricultural corporations saw an influx of citizens from rural areas injected into the urban centers. In the United States, over 80% of the population live in a few sprawling urban metroplexes. This overpopulation from these rural refugees has made life in these metroplexes decline in overall quality. Crime is off the charts. Unemployment is always in the double digits, in the mid double digits. This is a global phenomenon also, not just in the United States. Small businesses are hit the hardest. Shops, light manufacturing, restaurants, and the like, they all have to struggle to keep their doors open and from the wolf pouncing in to close them. Just to get from point A to point B has risen astronomically in terms of transportation. This has forced people to move into the inner cities so they can be closer to their job, allowing them to walk to work or take a bike. Suburbs are not like they used to be. They are places for the unemployed and rural refugees who reside in what's known as the farm family relocation camps. The suburbs are really nightmarish ghettos of crime and squalor. The municipal police keep law and order in the metroplexes, but there are large slums where they only enter if they are in hot pursuit, and even when they do that, it is with extreme caution. These areas are marked with signs that say, "You are now leaving a controlled zone." Within these uncontrolled zones or chaotic areas, a subculture of violence develops that many people grow up in. Gangs are the law and order here, normally striking out in raids into the controlled zones. They rival the police, who are often subjected to gang ambushes, and when the law has had enough, it looks like some kind of military campaign. Armored vehicles roaming the area, clearing deserted buildings. Soldiers armed with the best weapons that they can afford. This is not the case at the center of these metroplexes. Well, there you can see towering skyscrapers and the wealth of the corporations they have invested there. Entire areas are the equivalent to oversized gated communities, restructured for the employees of these corporations, who live quite differently from those on the outside. There are lush green lawns and sparkling fountains. Security is tight and the neighborhoods well patrolled. The security is so good that some municipal police have actually given over that jurisdiction to the corporations for their own property, which relieves them from the financial burden while giving the corporations life and death power in their own domains. On the outskirts of these areas are islands of wealth and high technology, a mixture of middle-class housing and deep slums surrounding them. Cyclists and pedestrians fill the streets, the roads packed with cheap automobiles for those who can afford them. This is the future. This is Dark Conspiracy.
This, of course, is the beginning of sorrows when you enter into the dark future of Dark Conspiracy. Now, if you got any value out of this video today, or you're interested in checking out this game because of this series, remember, there are links down in the description below for you to do the latter. And for the former, you can just go ahead and crush the like button. Also, if you want to stick around, feel free, y'all, because I've got over 300 videos now that you can go through my library and my playlist and all the rest of that stuff. And I come out with videos, God willing, every Tuesday and Friday. Question of the vid is going to force you to think just a little bit. Just a little bit, y'all. The question is this. Now that you have seen this video, and if you haven't seen the video, you need to go back for this one. So if you kind of been skipping around the video and didn't watch the whole thing, you're going to need to go and watch the video, enough of it at least. And the question is this. Knowing what the dark future is in Dark Conspiracy, what parallels do you see in that dark future and our present times? Oh yeah, I'm throwing it at you, y'all. Let me know down in the comments. Let's get some engagement going. Let's get some discussion going. Let's get the community roaring just a little bit, and that's it. Yeah, today's a short one. That's it. So that means your boy has got to do his snaggle push.
So exit, stage left.
If you have a game this weekend, and I do, we're taking a little break. We're going to a little bit of Numenera. But if you have a game this weekend also, then I pray it is an RPG Elite session. And until next time, y'all, God willing, your boys gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta bounce. Peace. 5,000 elites. I'm out.